H. Venkatachalam, the Second Secretary in the Embassy of India in Addis Ababa. These are my personal collection. There are about 4,000 stamps here. Most of them are of the Commonwealth countries, that is the former countries under the British control, now independent. So you would see stamps starting from India to different countries around. I have more than 5,000 stamps, but roughly about 4,000 here are on display. So I've been collecting stamps since the age of 13 when I was in class 8. I started my journey with one stamp and one coin. And then I have constantly been adding, wherever I go, I've been adding the local stamps to my collection, and there you see the complete set of collection. These were the first 4 stamps issued on the occasion of independence of India, followed by the first 4 Mahatma Gandhi stamps. These 4 are the 1949 stamps when India joined the Universal Postal Union. So these are stamps starting from the year 1854 when the British East India Company was administrating India. Eventually they handed over power to the British Raj, to the Crown in 1882, and from then on the Crown has been issuing stamps till 1947. From 47 India gained independence, and in 1950 India became a republic. So we have all the stamps showing the transition of history of India, and then you will see stamps of the further period till about 1974. You will see the transition from a single color to multicolor. You will see different stamps, as well as you would see, instead of the Queen or the King's portrait, it is portrait featuring animals, the Indian personalities, Indian monuments. As you go around, you might have a look at this. There are more stamps of kingdoms of Indore, Charkari, Jind. These were the pre-independence feudatory states which merged with India in 47. You would see more stamps of such princely states of Jaipur, Faridkot, Bhopal, Holkar, Indore, Cochin, Travancore. Then we come to the kingdoms of India, the former erstwhile princely states which merged with India in 1947. Unlike Ethiopia, where the entities merged, they were given the option of retaining their own flag and the option to secede from the Union. The princely states of India completely merged with the Union. So they have the Union of India as a single flag, single currency, and a single territory. And they have no option to secede from the Union. Then you have more stamps of Canada here. As we progress, we are in 67. As you see, more colorful stamps being printed, from block printing to offset printing. The concept of using a prepaid postage stamp for sending letters started in 1840 in UK. In 1854, it has started in India. Now with the advent of couriers and electronic communication, stamps have lost its value and not much in use. But in earlier days, stamps were considered the prized item for sending postal letters. You will see stamps, the concept, the art that goes behind creating single color stamps, multicolor stamps are of great value. Now they have, because these are pictures that translate into history of that period. Now, of course, things have changed, but as these pictures tell you history as you go through them. There are images, there are periods which relates to the history of that period. Here we come to some of the more interesting stamps. These are the stamps of registered post and postal due. These are freight stamps. As you would see, these are postal due stamps from 1927 onwards up to 1974, and then more of the postal due stamps here. These are one of the most interesting stamps. You will have images of leaders as you transition. 1964, a certain set of leaders. As you progress, you will see change of new leaders, new entities, new concepts you will see on the stamps, which these days you don't get to see so much. Singapore, which was part of Strait Settlement, became part of Malaya Federation, then Malaysia, then gained independence in 65. More stamps of Malaya Federation, Malaysia, Then we have a crown colony of North Borneo, which eventually became Sabah and merged with Malaysia. These are stamps of Sarawak, which is now part of Malaysia. It tells the history of the world through stamps. You will see the transition from a particular rule to independence to republic, where people have gained their assert their rights over their country and territory, from a foreign ruler to their own rule. So these are the transitions that you will see through stamps. New Zealand, Gold Coast. Gold Coast is now Ghana. Then you have stamps of Falkland Island, Transvaal and Natal. Transvaal and Natal are part of South Africa. This is where Mahatma Gandhi stayed for 14 years. They have stamps of Barbados. Then there are stamps of Gilbert and Ellice Island. Stamps tell you the history of each country, whether it is India or Ethiopia. Every stamp has a history. Stamps takes you, it's a transition through time and space. So the younger generation, when they see these stamps, they will be able to relate it to the history of their own country. So I would suggest every youth should go through their history and relate it with the stamps. Yeah, these are the collections that I have been continuously collecting for the last 45 years. And I feel that every youth should adopt a hobby wherein they pursue either stamps or coins that relate to the history of their own country and history of the world.